Coach Kelly joining us now after the second spring practice session has concluded here inside the Loftus Center. First of all, just let's talk a little bit about the new field and having this facility, especially when it's still snowing outside.
Yeah, well, certainly the Loftus comes in as a very important piece to our program, and we're very fortunate to have this indoor facility, and to have the new turf on here, obviously makes it a great situation for us. So we couldn't be outside today, and we need to be practicing right now with the schedule the way it falls, Jack, this year. We wanted to get in some early practices, and even if the weather was not as unusual it is this year, we probably wouldn't be outside anyway. So it obviously comes in to be a very big piece for us.
This may be the earliest start of spring practice here ever, certainly the earliest since I got here in the early 80s. How has that impacted the way that you've gotten ready, and did you get done this week what you wanted to get done?
Yeah, you know what? I think I probably got more accomplished than I expected. I thought these 2 days would be conditioning and get him acclimated to some football activities. It was much more than that. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of football. There was a lot of teaching, a lot of activities. We really laid down a good amount of what we expect from our football team, both in the playbook and expectations. And of course, having a new defensive coordinator, and obviously me being involved offensively, and Coach Denbrock as our new offensive coordinator, we needed to get going, and it's worked out well.
There are some conditioning sessions that you can be around the team in the offseason, but this is the first time you've been around these guys on the field since the conclusion of the season. Are there some guys who have made good impressions these first 2 days?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one guy particularly, as much as I think as a whole, it's a group of guys that it's fun to coach them. There's no guy that is, out here going, well, I'm going to be, the next #1 draft pick. I think everybody's here to win for Notre Dame. Everybody's here, and that's not to throw any dispersions at anybody else, because we didn't have that, but it's a young group of guys that are thinking about getting on the field, not about anything else. And so it's fun to coach young guys, and we're inexperienced in some areas, and many people would say, well, that's scary, but that's the fun part about it. So again, I think there's not one guy. I think it's just a group of guys that have a lot of energy, that are excited, and they're very talented. There's a lot of talent on this team, and they're going to make some mistakes along the way, but it's fun.
You now have 2 days of tape in your system. Normally, you'd have another practice in a couple of days, but now you've got 2 weeks really to sit down and look at it. How much of an advantage will that be?
Well, it'll help us a lot, because it allows us to look at, all right, what do we do really well? You got Everett Golson back, and we can tailor some of the things, and then defensively we can look at, all right, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses based upon the personnel, and allow us to move forward going into the next week.
Coach, thank you for the time.
You're welcome.
With Coach Brian Kelly, I'm Jack Nolan, Fighting Irish Digital Media.